topic, World Mental Health Day 2023. And then breaking stigmas, navigating mental health challenges in a changing world. And it must interest you to know that the theme of this year's celebration is mental health is a universal human right. Okay, and I have a guest that has joined me to do justice to this topic. He is Dr. Uchenna Terry Okeke. Dr. Uchenna Terry Okeke is the State Mental Health Program Manager. Good morning, Doc.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, good to have you here.
Thank you.
When we say mental health, these days it does appear there are so many definitions of mental health. Before now, when you hear mental health, you just think there's somebody that is running mad. So let us into what mental health is all about.
Good morning. Thank you. Mental health is, okay, in a general perspective, before I come to a definition, you know, we have child health, we have ear health, we have oral health, reproductive health, mental health. So everything about mental, the way we cope in our environment, the way you see yourself, and then the way you relate to others, you know. So mental health, as defined by the WHO, is a state of mental well-being, you know, that enables a person or a group of people, especially a person, you need to personalize mental health now, enable you to cope with stress of life, stresses, all these stressors. You know, realize your potential, realize one's potential and ability. Learn well, you know, do work well, and then ultimately contribute to the environment. So that's just the definition of mental health.
Oh, really?
It's not just an absence of a disease condition. It's a state of
like
mental well-being.
It doesn't have anything to do with madness, or
Yeah,
it's part of
it's
it?
not, it's part of it. It's not just the presence of any disease. It's a state of well-being, mental well-being. That's mental health.
Okay. If you ask me, because of the situation of things in the country, I think a whole lot of us are having issues with our mental health. So if it is possible for us to bring it down so that a layman in the street will understand what we're talking about. Okay? So it's in a mental health. What are involved? I just heard this morning on the pages of newspaper, gas, cooking gas was 1,200 per kg. So can this affect one's mental health? Because it has started affecting me. I felt like just rushing out of this place to go and pick cylinder and go and buy. Maybe now the price can be. So how do we, relate this to our present day life?
Yes, and thank you. Today is, like you rightly said in the intro, World Mental Health Day. The United Nations, in its, intelligence and desire to see that everyone in the whole wide world has there's emphasis are placed and made on this, like what you now said here, mentation, stress, psychological, social, emotional stability of an individual. Medicine is a holistic approach, Gas going up, it actually affected me. People used to now remove, the emphasis was now more on gas as against the petrol and diesel. Now the gas is now higher, costlier than the petrol. So with the environmental impact, the demographic, war, natural disasters, man-made and natural, so it has a lot of impacts on the general populace and well-being. Today, let us stress on the need using today to come together, create awareness, raise awareness on mental health issues as it affects the reality of the population and all our well-being.
Okay, I would have really loved to ask you what are the causes of mental health? Haven't just mentioned one, that's maybe stories or news about an unbecoming situation could affect one, what other things can you relate as being part or causes of mental health?
They abound, from the biological, they have the biological causes. When when you're in the womb, as you're being, a child is in the womb, there's some forming, that's this, in the brain, there's some hormones, the norepinephrines and dopamines, glutamates, that may be high in high dose on high quantity. It can affect biological causes, genetic causes. Some say it is familial, from mother or father to child. Some of them, yes. Some other social determinants.
I'll break you. When that happens, how does it affect the child when the child is eventually
and the person
born?
is growing up. If the hyper stimulation of those factors.
What does that mean? Can you break it down in English?
I mean, if for any reason, when you're supposed to sleep, they have a sleep-wake pattern. If you don't get enough sleep, those hormones, remember, the dopamine. Generally we are always stressed naturally, but there's this compensation mechanism that has happened to everybody. When there's too much of something, the body tries to regulate it to come down. If it's not being regulated, hyper means over, excessive stimulation of those receptors in the brain, dopamine.
Okay, how can you identify somebody that's having a challenge in his or her mental health? How can you identify such a person?
Depending on the cause, if it's financial, if it's social, but the mild one, you may not be able to. But generally, is introspection. If it's you now wanting to know if your mental health is how you cope. First of all, remember, it's how you cope.
Sometimes it's difficult talking to all these medical doctors.
No,
all these medical I don't understand them.
Okay.
Break it down for us to understand.
One is
like if you see a person that is just having a mental challenge now, how do I say?
First of all, the person
will be problem.
Somebody will be withdrawn from
the
natural, normal behaviors around. Okay. If it's somebody that used to like going to school, the person will find it uninteresting going to as a child. Person that eats good meal, person will be being picky, Then some people even eat more. Some people have a kind of mental, eating disorder.
Somebody that eats less started eating more.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes. Somebody that eats more, eating less. Extreme.
It's a problem.
Yes. You start as a warning sign. Confusion, being angry unnecessarily, being unaware of environment, he's also immediate.
Angry.
Yeah, but somebody that is joyful, that's always cheerful, becoming angry, not be thinking of harming oneself or even others. For a little getting provoked, staying, like I say, with being withdrawn, not being excited. These are the early warning signs of there's a mental health challenge.
Okay, we have tried to look at the causes, and you made us understand that it's diversified. A whole lot of things could cause that.
The environmental cause.
Environmental cause.
Early childhood trauma.
Early childhood trauma.
Even
developmental cause while the child was still in the womb.
Yes.
And then when you
substance abuse. If somebody alcohol and the illicit drugs.
Okay.
Lead to those ones. So a lot of.
Some people are on it.
Yeah, it's too much of everything is bad. You won't even know when you start developing, crave, and then that's dependency. If you cannot, if
you can't do without it.
Yes, these are the.
Okay, and then one would say that some of these things could be environmentally. I mean that the causes could be environmental. What are we looking at the environment? That could cause one.
Modifiable. We have the modifiable ones. Age, even sex, is a determinant. It's found more in females than in males. Some mental health challenges. people that are vulnerable to discrimination or attack, abuse, ladies, workplace trauma, workplace events. But if you now come to modifiable, the environment, extreme weather condition can as well affect mental health. It's unemployment. Okay, extreme weather condition. If extreme, whichever one, if it's too much weather, if it's hotness, if it's too much cold, depending. You remember there's equally a medical aspect too. Some medications can lead to some diseases, even ordinary malaria. You think someone has malaria. At the end of the day, the impact of going to hospital regularly, treating malaria, spending your money, missing some appointments or social gathering because you are sick or you're looking after someone that is sick, it can affect the mental. That's why it's a holistic, it's complex. Some poverty, unemployment, high tax, house rent. So these are the environmental that can impact on one's mental health. And then workplace, like I keep saying, social and workplace challenges. So I think the government. Let's thank the former president Buhari that has passed the National Mental Health Act of 2021. It was actually in this January before he left that he signed the.
What was that about?
The National Mental Health Act.
So what does it talk?
Generally how to promote mental health well-being of the populace.
So let's look at how to promote it now. How do we promote our mental health?
Well, by sensitization. Thank ABS for bringing me here. We are sensitizing the populace now. The sensitization going for promoting all these good mental health well-being. Talk, peer pressure, talk to people, talk to colleagues. And then I remember the first word I used, introspection. And go to the mirror, ask yourself questions. That's the first thing. I think I'm getting it all wrong now. Why am I being depressed? Why am I thinking excessively?
Must you do that on the mirror?
You mustn't, but you can just sit on a quiet place and ask yourself.
You scared me.
Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy is a talking, if you can't see who to talk to.
You talk to yourself. And when you see me talking to myself, it won't think I have a mental challenge.
Yeah. If you want to talk it out, talk. If you want to think, communication skills.
What do they call it when we were in secondary school? Soliloquizing. So when you see me talking to myself, won't you think I have a problem? Won't you take me to hospital?
No.
Really?
Yes. If you stay and some people can talk, you mustn't be vocal. You can think, talking to yourself doesn't really mean speaking out.
So even if I speak out, is it a problem?
If you speak out, some people encourage themselves. I can do it. I'm a child of destiny. I know this will pass. You can motivate yourself by even speaking it out.
I can just say, hi, Ijoma, what's the matter with
you? But you don't need to shout.
What is wrong with you? That kind of a thing. And the next person will say that she's running mad.
But those are variables. And then you get, but most importantly, seek help from the professionals.
Okay, that's where I want to come now. The navigating mental health. So how do we navigate?
Yes, rehabilitate. First of all, find out what is the stress, what's the predisposing factor, what is probably causing, is it marital, is it financial, is it traditional, is it spiritual? There's a very spiritual dimension too. It's a multi-sectorial. Navigation is like this act that has been passed. And Anambra State trying to domesticate the act and the law.
Has it been domesticated?
No. So it's part of the awareness and advocacy.
What are you guys doing to ensure that it's
advocacy visits to stakeholders, the traditional rulers, the market women, the church leaders, and then the House of Assembly, which as a, so that they will see need to domesticate it in the Anambra.
And when it's domesticated, what do you intend to achieve?
When it's domesticated, you now know that if you discriminate against the mental health, first of all, it's now become binding on the state and to treat any mental, person. The hospitals, it will.
I asked you when we started. Does it have anything to do with mad people on the street?
It is.
Because whenever we hear mental health, that's where our mind goes first.
No,
that was why I saw stigma. and I bypassed it because I don't know how I could be having problems that I don't have money to buy gas in my house, and then you'll be stigmatizing me from wherever points. Okay, so
Yes,
when
that
does
one
this
is one of the
come in?
mental disorder, and then the psychosocial disability that comes with it. I see somebody who, we don't really use the word mental. We don't use madness. Just
You use
illness.
psycho what? What did you
Yes,
call it?
mental illness against madness. Knowing that some doctors, professionals, chief executives have mental illness, one form or the other, without removing their clothes or wandering. So that word, if we stop using those words, the stigma will go down. This person is mentally ill, as against mad.
Okay,
And a
okay.
person can even now be willing to come out and seek help. When he knows that this is how people perceive,
A situation.
Yes, that destigmatization, promotes.
Okay, at what point do you get scared of a stigma? At what point will a person get in a mental health condition and then there will be cases of stigmatization?
At every point, there are types of, there's a self-stigma, that's perceived stigma.
Okay, you can also stigmatize yourself.
Yes,
How?
that's perceived. The one you think, the way this young man is looking at me, who knows if he knows my issue? Or, you stigmatize, that's perceived. Self is not being able to go to the hospital to seek help, or I know I'm not worth going to this social gathering. Even when people don't even know you have an issue, you first of all stigmatize yourself. I don't want to join. I don't want to be associated with these people because I know they will look down on me or they may laugh at me. Some will just see you and start laughing. I've not seen this young person. You think it is because of the person even coming to greet you.
So at this point now, it's not the psycho, whatever you call it, okay? That is the only problem here because some people still feel they don't belong here due to poverty.
Yes.
You understand? There's a call come out now we find a member this and that or soon on them will go to So poverty can also be a state of mental
low
condition.
self-esteem. But when you find out that that's why you need people around. Nobody is an island unto himself or herself. Come out, socialize with people, even when you don't have money. Maybe find the people that are, maybe in quote, you feel that are as poor as you are. Go about staying with them. Go to social, there are classes I know. First social classes in middle, high, and low. But when it is now a law, like I said, if it's domesticated, the government now has a duty to ensure better quality of life for all, promote freedom for everybody, and make it's criminal to stigmatize.
Even when I'm stigmatizing myself?
Then you now know you have that primary area, you now seek help. And the psychologists, the therapeutic nurses, psychiatric nurses or psychologists, and get help, seek help. Stigma is a negative.
Okay, at what point do I seek help?
At the earliest sign of when you start feeling weak, when you start feeling not happy with life again, when you start overthinking. Even when you are okay in this environment, once in a while, move about, let people tell you what they perceive about you. And when you go home, you now know if it's true or not. Okay,
but that's exactly what I'm asking. Because some people that have this kind of problem, I don't really know that they have problem. It's only when you know you have a problem, then you start looking for help, seeking for help. But then, in this case, there are some situations that you don't even know you have a problem.
And that's why this sensitization is apt. The people around should be able to now notice mommy or daddy or son is no longer weakness, not waking up from bed as late as 8 o'clock against when you usually wake up 7, 6 a.m. Tiredness, not being happy, not wanting to go out, not exercising.
Or being excessively happy.
I had too much
All
of everything.
Yes.
So let the people know, let the awareness, people surrounding immediate environment, notice there's a change in the mood or behavior of the next door neighbor.
Okay, before we get to what you guys plan to do today, let's first of all look at this theme. Mental health is a universal human right. Is it part of the act that was signed by the former president concerning this
Yes.
mental health?
Yes, it's part of every citizen of Nigeria and Anambra has a right for mental health to go to access care in the hospital.
How? Is it free?
No, it's not free now.
So I don't know where that right comes in.
Malaria to go to hospital, we have all of us think we have right to go to hospital, even if it's malaria or typhoid, or we have a right to go to the hospital.
We've been going.
Yes, so let people who have mental health know that is equally they have a right to go to the hospital and have a right to be seen and heard, have a right not to be discriminated. And the government equally has a right to play its role in ensuring social harmony, employment, food, basic amenities, good road. These, all of them are interwoven that make against.
Because the absence of this can cause mental health.
If that integrates them, even people with mental disability, into the civil service, into mainstay in politics, into decision making.
Now you are talking about the rights.
Yes, into decision making.
So if you have a psycho problem that you cannot take charge of your system, can you be employed in the civil service?
Yes.
What will you be doing?
Just like there's no need to discriminate, you know. Just like all of us, people with disability, physical disability, they have their mental health should be on check, should be on the spot. I don't know what a medical doctor with one hand cannot do, that one too cannot, maybe if it's surgery. There's medical doctor with disability can still work. A teacher with one hand can teach, with one leg can teach. A blind teacher, a blind civil servant, there should be any form of discrimination whatsoever.
Okay, are you now bringing in physical disability with mental disability?
Yes.
Or do they have any relationship?
Obviously. What I do, mental health is well-being of everybody to achieve your potential, to cope with stress. So medical, physical disability is a component of mental health. Economic disability, social disability. People with chronic illnesses, debilitating illnesses, cancers, HIV, there's mental health aspects in it. Yes.
Okay. So how do they get to know about this right, that they have this right? What are you guys doing to ensure that everybody knows his or her right mentally?
There will be a press briefing by the ministry. Advocacy, we are going to advocacy visit, like I told you, to the schools, and then the media, the social, the print, and ABS inclusive, should be able to announce and do jingles. We are formulating jingles now. Let people know their rights. It's not just basic fundamental rights. Right to vote, right to not to be discriminated. The rights abound. Sensitization. And then government being able to, basic social amenities, rehabilitation centers. I know they pick people around the streets and keep them. There will be more of them, more of those centers. Things that will remove youth's mind from other vices, smoking, secret cults, fighting, touts. Let them be engaged. Forming cooperative societies for whatever good that the political class has. These are rights. Power is a human right. Right to school, education. Just like the governor has graciously given free school to children, and there's this one going on in the health sector now, free maternal, antenatal, there should equally be. At the health centers, every primary health center now is in the law. should be able to identify early signs of mental health challenge and treat. That's the law of the health centers. It's not only the psychiatric hospital. Every hospital should have a mental health desk where they should be able to identify, diagnose, and treat, and now refer in extreme severe mental cases.
Is that of the health center free?
No, but the government can, as a matter of fact, make it free. But the emphasis now is to make it free now. That's why it's new. The health in Anambra, the worldwide, not Anambra alone, is now focusing more on mental health, mental health, mental health. They've now know the need. It's when you are mentally stable, you can govern. It's when you're mentally fit and that you can follow the leaders.
So what do you think the emphasis is coming this period all over the world?
Because of the data being generated everywhere. If you permit me, I could just go through some.
Go ahead.
You know,
go ahead.
The truth is one in 4%, one of 4 Nigerian, one in 5 as of 2023.
Yes, 1 person out of 5.
Yes, has one form of mental illness. This is in Nigeria as of 2022.
It's scary.
Yes.
Very scary.
Whether it is depression, to post-traumatic events, to even sleeping disorder, eating disorder, all of them, like I told you, maniac, bipolar, there are a lot of mental, and the most leading cause of mental illness now is type of mental depression and anxiety. You can see what is happening yesterday in Iraq, not Israel, and
the Hamas.
Yeah, so you can imagine the mental health of people there. Even the Nigerians that have family, friends there in Israel, their mental health condition now. So, the things that happen in Nigeria, in our states, in some neighboring states, famine, insecurity. So 21% of adults are experiencing at least one mental, this is WHO as of this year, 21% of adults experiencing one form of at least one mental illness.
Adults.
Yes,
okay.
And inside that 21%, the 55% of them have not received treatment for whatsoever, any form of treatment. So 55% of that 21%, more than half, average, have never received any form of treatment. Some don't even know.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
They don't even know. Even when they know, the facility is not there. Anambra has one neuropsychiatric hospital. That's if for every case now, minus the private few of them.
I was going to ask you, if one notices a kind of mental illness, where do you go? Apart from the psychiatric hospital, because you said that every mental health is not madness. Yes. So where do we go?
Every health. That's at the end of this first achievable 2, 3, 4 months with the training that's going on about starting. Every private hospital, private health center should be able to. Every CHU, every medical nurse should be. Well, training is now ongoing at the secretariat. It will now be taken down to every.
Which secretariat?
At the ministry. We are now doing training. And they will now be stepped down to every health facility.
Who are going to be trained?
Health workers, the nurses, the community health extension workers, the medical doctors, every health facility in Anambra State.
Who is facilitating?
The Ministry of Health. Okay?
That's good.
So that they're able to identify early. So you can now walk into people in the villages. Some will say it's witch, it is Obanje. You don't need to drive down to capital. You just go and there will be peer group, community-based assistance. Here in Emege is not unknown. It is, don't kill yourself. Don't attempt suicide. Don't, it will, churches, traditional rural market women, leaders should be able to, and the community should be able to gather when you hear the silike, try and give succor. These are the. That's
exactly where I'm going now, because how do we control this? How do we ensure that this mental health condition is minimized in our society?
There's the stigmatization. One. Let people not put stigma on for whatsoever reason. Embrace love, show empathy, show love. You know? And then this advocacy. Let people keep talking about it. Let people keep, this person has come out and gotten treatment. I can do it, I can go. You know? Education. Educate people on the signs, early signs of mental fag or being tired easily, not being happy, thinking of saying that you're hearing voices or you're seeing, you know, removing hand from illicit substances, alcohol, drugs for the youth, you know, youth engagement, like this one that are doing one youth,
One scale.
one scale. Yes, these are the government should equally, as the government is playing their role, the family should equally play its own role.
Okay. Yeah. We'll take a short break now. We're coming back.
Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS. With delight, we bring you the light that we bear through our illustrious leaders. Our icons. Our industrious people. Our rich culture. Our places of pride. And our mouth-watering cuisine. With unbridled professionalism and renewed tenacity, we serve you real-time news, information, entertainment of varied genres with unfettered reach of your clients and customers. AB.
Okay, welcome back. We are still looking at our mental health as I still have Dr. Uchenna Terry Okeke with me, trying to let you know what signs you should look out for, and then how to assess help when you start feeling, different from what you used to be. Okay, so that's exactly what we are cut out for this morning. If you want to ask questions, you can come in now. If you want to make contribution, it's okay, but the fact remains that you should listen attentively to ensure that you get something home today. Very important. Okay, as we'll start rounding off, Dr. Okeke, today is the World Mental Health Day. Okay, do you have any activity coming up today?
Yes.
So tell us about
we
it.
do. There'll be, first of all, there'll be, okay, this is part of the activity, being here. Two, there'll be a press briefing in the ministry, and then there'll be a social walk, giving flyers around from the ministry to Aroma, down to Koka. And then there'll be talk in the schools, to children, peer pressure, to especially substance abuse, And
will all this happen today?
Yes. And then subsequently...
So how many schools can you access?
We will, at the three geopolitical, through territorial zones.
Oh, it's already mapped out?
Yes.
Okay.
And then tomorrow...
Primary, secondary?
Yes, in secondary, and then we'll go to the House of Assembly.
Tomorrow or today?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, today they're busy. Tuesday, by Wednesday we'll go and meet the health committee and the leadership of the house, and then continue. We'll now be, even in our WhatsApp groups, everywhere, people should just be talking about mental health, but this is the first step. This lets the whole Anambrarians know the import of good mental health, especially to making Anambra a prosperous and livable state. The wife of the governor has a living healthy living with Soludo.
Healthy living program.
Yes.
So are you partnering with her?
Yes, as a mental health component she's championing. So there's a government buy-in. There's even a political push to it.
And that means that's hope for the state to domesticate the arts that has been signed by the federal government.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Is there any other thing you would like us to know about this mental health before we go?
Speak out. Speak out, speak out. Don't die in silence. Don't remember, WHO is trying to legalize suicide now. If someone attempts doing suicide, it's a mental health challenge. You don't get someone and now jail him that he attempted. Find out what is the root cause of the issue.
What do you mean by legalizing?
I didn't say like I said legalize.
Okay, that's
legalize.
We didn't talk about suicide. So it's the mental, another aspect of mental issue.
Yes, paraphilia. People that like children, pedophiles. It's a
Pedophile?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, sexual dysfunctions, even at home, rape, attempts, even in workplace, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation.
By the ogas.
Yes, these are all mental, how it affects the staff, even the oga himself. All these are...
Especially when it's not consented to.
Yes, so even when you are being attacked or demoted, or even extra tax. People, this lady is hardworking, we keep giving extra tax. You don't even know how it affects the mental of, So all this is all encompassing. Even in taxes, people may not want me to say, people that gender, that want to be now associated, a man wanting to be a lady. It's a form of a mental...
Okay, yes, gender swapping.
Yes, it's, but the textbook is there. Paranoid, schizophrenia, all this, before you now talk of people giving birth, postpartum depression, in short, there are many. So
let's talk about that. Some people get crazy after giving birth. So it's part of what we are talking about
yes, today. You don't know.
They lose their senses.
Yes, it is biological.
But to some families, I think not the normal with their family now.
Probably because there is a mild form they cope with it, and even from the first degree mental to second. But when it goes to this,
what could lead to that? Maybe excessive labor or whatever.
Yes, some form of, like I told you, epinephrine when they are being released. Adrenaline, how the body releases. This one is a medical, and then some psychological. If you want a particular sex and you don't get it, gender. Some missed opportunities. They feel they've missed opportunity because of this pregnancy. Some get sacked in the office. Some didn't go for a promotional exam because of some, and then
working for a whole number of years without being promoted, sitting at one position for years, it could cost mental health.
Yes.
Perhaps when you see your other mates that you started working with in another ministry that are well above you, and then you are still where you are, it could even drive one crazy.
Yes. In this pregnancy, like it's a puerperal blues, though some are inexplicable, but we know that there's body changes in pregnancy, physiological body changes in pregnancy that can affect those hormones, like I said, that act in the brain, So anything, the absence of, once in a while, go for a mental checkup. Just go, even if as a banker, or go talk and be happy and go back home. That's why there's leave. Annual leave. Some people come to boast that they've not gone to live for 5 years.
They don't know they're harming themselves.
Yes. Go for vacation, save a little money, leave your immediate environment, go enjoy yourself, come back, even while you are saving.
Don't get rejuvenated.
Don't go and waste all your finances. Just moderation and come back rejuvenated, like you said.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we'll have to go.
My advice to the youth is remove your hand from drug abuse. Drug, illicit drug, substance, alcohol, you know. Like I wanted to read, 11% of adults abuse alcohol, 11% of adults, and other drugs, you know. And both of them, 11% alcohol, 6.8% illicit. This is statistics in Nigeria.
Terrible statistics.
So
Okay, we've come past that. Let's keep praying that it doesn't escalate. Thank you very much, Dr. Uchenna Terry Okeke, State Mental Health Program Manager. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. And thanks to my boss, the Honorable Commissioner, for insisting that this day we'll mark it in Anambra State, and our directors, you know.
What's that name?
Dr. Afam Obidike.
Okay.
And our director Afam. It's double Afam.
The Afams.
Afam and Eme, you know.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, the camera guys. Thank you, the ops directors. Thank you, producer Ifichi. A whole lot of you. Thank you for making it happen this morning. My name is Ijoma. God keeping us. We'll be here tomorrow. God bless you.
Thank you.